Welcome to aminacademy.com. In physics, let us discuss about optical instruments. What are optical instruments? Optical instruments are the devices that process light waves to enhance an image for a more clear view. That means the optical instruments is used to develop the object size and clear manner and look that by human eye. The use of optical instruments such as a magnifying lens or any optical complicated devices like a microscope or telescopes or periscopes usually makes things bigger and helps us see in a more detailed manner. Now, how it's possible to make optical instruments? First, the combination of thin lenses is used here. When two or more thin lenses are combined, the resulting lens is called a compound lenses. Here, two lenses combined together. That means here one object is viewed from one lenses, that is viewed further by other lenses. So it's called a compound lenses. When two or more thin lenses are combined, the resulting lens is called a compound lens. The simplest compound lens system are two thin lenses that are kept in contact with each other. When two lenses are combined, the first lens creates an image. First lens creates an image that becomes the object of the second lens. Here, our original object is here. First lens creates an image here. That image is the object of the second lenses. It continues if compound is more. The magnification of the combination is the ratio of the height of the final image to the height of the original object. Here, object and image. Here, that ratio of two things are called magnification of the combination. Here, the magnification, the formula is here 1 over f equal to 1 over f1 plus 1 over f2, where 1 over f is the focal length of the combination of the lenses, that f1 is the focal length of the first lens, f2 is the focal length of the second lens. Next, here very important things for human is our eye. It works as the principle of optical instruments. The human eye is a simple optical instrument that uses light to form an image on the retina. It contains two positive lenses, the cornea and the crystalline lenses. Cornea and crystalline lenses, these are the compound lenses that projects image onto the retina. The retina absorbs the light and converts it into electrical signals that are sent to the visual cortex, and our brain tells what it is. Magnifying glasses. A magnifying glass is a convex lens that is used to produce a magnified image of an object. The lens is usually mounted in a circular frame with a handle. Beyond its primary function of magnification, this simple yet ingenious tool serves a variety of purposes of our works. It can be employed to focus sunlight, harnessing the sun's ray to create a concentrated hotspot at the lens focus, which is often used for starting fires from only by sunlight. And also it's used to very much useful for doctors to see the magnified view of our bodies, inner bodies. That means some body structures like tongue inside and tooth inside, and very small things can magnify and see what it is, what happened, what's the problem. They can identify easily by using magnifying instruments with simple way. Next, microscope is a very important instrument invented and very useful for human life. A microscope is an instrument that can be used to observe small objects, even cells that much small can magnify and see. That means even cells cannot be seen through naked eye, but microscopes useful very much. The image of an object is magnified through at least one lens in the microscope. This lens bends light towards the eye and makes an object appear larger than actually it is. Working principle, we can understand the working principle of microscope simply. The optical instruments makes a magnified image of an object specimen with the objective lenses like blood sample, urine sample, blood sample, whatever that things to be absorbed, we can use it. Further, it magnifies the image with an eyepieces to allow the user to observe. Eyepiece to user observe it with the help of the naked eye. Sometimes the optical microscope, also known as a light microscope, uses one or more than one lens to magnify images of small samples with visible light. So it's clarify the object. Then how it works. Here, look at here, this figure. Here, this simple structure here. Object, first the object is viewed. Here, object is viewed through a objective lens. First, it's the rays goes to here and here. Then this is further magnified by eyepieces. Through eyepieces, the microscope works. That means through eyepieces only you can see. In that, look at here. After eyepieces, the two lenses work combined thin lenses and works as a magnifier. Look at here. This image size is here. Look at here. Object size is very small. Image size is very big. The comparative magnification factor is very high. So this is a basic principle for the microscope works. The term compound refers to use more than one lens in the microscope. In the compound microscope, more than one lens is used for a better view of objects. However, the compound microscope is one of the types of the optical microscope. The compound microscope contains two lenses. The lens placed towards the object is called the objective lens, and the lens placed near the eye is called eyepieces. This object lens, this eyepiece. Different types of microscope. First is a simple microscope. The simple microscope is defined as a magnifying glass with a double convex lens that has a short focal length. The simple microscope is used in microbiology labs to study the samples of algae, fungi, etc. It is also used by the jewelers to get a magnified image of the fine parts of the jewelry. Compound microscope. A compound microscope is defined as the microscope with a high resolution, and it uses two sets of lenses and gives two-dimensional image of the sample. The compound microscope is used by the forensic department to detect the human fingerprints. It is also used in schools for academic purposes. That amazing facts about microscope we see. Microscope is a very interesting instrument, very useful instrument also. Microscope is an instrument that is used to see all objects or by magnifying it. If there is a single lens used microscope, it's called a simple lens. If uses two or more lenses, it's called compound microscope. The lens placed closer to the eye is called the eyepiece, and the lens placed at the other end is called the objective piece. Microscope is used for at least 300 years in various forms. the basic ideas about 3,000 years before they used. The very first microscope was made by study insects. The first single lens microscope was made in the 1600s, and it can magnify the object 200 times. The ability to see objects clearly and separately is known as the resolution of the microscope lens. Under microscope, if any object is photographed, then it is called a micrograph. The smallest object seen under the microscope was up to 500 nanometer long. Nanometer is 10 power minus 9 meter. That much very small things can be observed with uses of special microscope. Now, what is periscope? The telescope is a device used to observe distant objects by their emission, absorption, and or reflection of electromagnetic radiations. Originally, it was an optical instrument using lens curved mirrors or a combination of both observed distance objects and optical telescope. Actually, the telescope is used to for a distant objects like in a sky. We can look through telescope. We can find the different planets, stars. Like we can use the telescopes to see which are very far distances. Telescope uses mirrors or lenses to focus light from distant objects onto a single point, very distant point. That rays come on this lens and focused here. From that, another lens is used to focus as a eyepiece, and we can look nearer to our eye. The telescopes use mirrors or lenses to focus light from distant objects onto a single point called the focal point. To create an image, the shape of the mirror or lens concentrates the light, which is what we see when we look into the telescope. The image is then viewed through a eyepiece. Nowadays, very modern telescopes are used by astronomers. Periscope. Periscope is, suppose you are hiding some underground places, you can look what happening in your above the head without looking you. That means that it is used in armies and some other instruments where we should hide ourselves and we have to look from outside to us. The periscope is an instrument to observation over, around, or through an object, obstacles or condition that prevents direct line of sight. Observation from an observer's current position. Principle of the periscope. The periscope on the left here uses mirrors, whereas the other things uses prism, mirrors, and some other prisms also they are using. Look at here, this basic things is here. Like suppose you are underground, this is the ground level, you are in the underground pit. So what happened, the light travels from here, this 45-degree mirror reflects the rays here, and further another 45-degree position mirror is this corner, it reflects here, then you can see the objects clearly here. That means you are under the underground and you can see from outside, some level up you can see. It may be used to see through any obstructions or items that is blocking the direct line of sight. There are no magnification or cross lines pictures produced by the periscope. You may use a periscope to acquire a better perspective or of far off objects. It does this reflecting light via mirrors and lenses, allowing us to see objects without having to be there in person. So far we discussed little about optical instruments, some introduction likes. In further videos, we will do further problems on how to solve the problems for in instruments like optical instruments. We'll see. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.